Non-Mendelian genetics. In simple Mendelian genetics, traits usually follow clear dominant and recessive patterns, but many real traits do not work that simply. Non-Mendelian genetics explains inheritance patterns that do not follow Mendel's basic rules. This includes incomplete dominance, codominance, polygenic traits, multiple alleles, pleiotropic genes, sex-linked inheritance. First concept, incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance happens when neither allele is completely dominant over the other. Instead of one trait fully masking the other, the phenotype becomes a blend. Example: red flower times white flower equal to pink flower. The heterozygous offspring shows an intermediate phenotype. This is different from normal dominance because the dominant allele does not completely hide the recessive allele. Mini summary. Incomplete dominance creates a blended phenotype because neither allele fully dominates. Q&A. What is incomplete dominance? A pattern where neither allele is fully dominant and the phenotype blends together. What happens in incomplete dominance? The heterozygous phenotype appears intermediate between the two homozygous phenotypes. What is an example of incomplete dominance? Red flowers crossed with white flowers producing pink flowers. Is one allele completely dominant in incomplete dominance? No. Next concept, codominance. Codominance means both alleles are fully expressed at the same time. Instead of blending together, both traits appear clearly. Example: blood type AB. Both A and B alleles are expressed equally. Another example, black and white spotted cows. This is different from incomplete dominance because the traits do not blend. Mini summary. Codominance means both alleles are fully visible in the phenotype. Q&A. What is codominance? A pattern where both alleles are fully expressed. How is codominance different from incomplete dominance? Codominance shows both traits fully, incomplete dominance blends them. What is an example of codominance? AB blood type. Does codominance create blended traits? No. Next concept, multiple alleles. Many genes have more than 2 possible alleles in a population. Even though a person only inherits 2 alleles, more versions may exist in the species. Example: ABO blood types, IA, IB, I. This creates type A, type B, type AB, type O. Mini summary. Multiple alleles means a gene has more than 2 allele forms within a population. Q&A. What are multiple alleles? More than 2 possible forms of a gene in a population. How many alleles can one person inherit for a gene? 2. What is an example of multiple alleles? ABO blood groups. Next concept, polygenic traits. Polygenic traits are controlled by multiple genes working together. Because many genes influence the trait, there is a wide range of variation. Examples: height, skin color, eye color. These traits do not fall into simple categories. Environment also influences many polygenic traits. Mini summary. Polygenic traits are controlled by many genes and usually show a wide range of variation. Q&A. What is a polygenic trait? A trait controlled by multiple genes. Why do polygenic traits show many variations? Because many genes contribute to the phenotype. What are examples of polygenic traits? Height and skin color. Are polygenic traits usually influenced by the environment? Yes. Next concept, pleiotropic genes. A pleiotropic gene affects multiple traits at the same time. One gene can influence several body systems. Example: sickle cell disease affects red blood cells, blood flow, organs, pain levels. Another example is Marfan syndrome. Mini summary. Pleiotropic genes affect multiple traits or systems in the body. Q&A. What is a pleiotropic gene? A gene that influences multiple traits. Why are pleiotropic genes important? One mutation can affect many body systems. What is an example of pleiotropy? Sickle cell disease. Next concept, sex-linked inheritance. Sex-linked traits are usually located on the X chromosome. The Y chromosome contains fewer genes. Notation for sex-linked alleles, XA, XAY. Examples of sex-linked disorders: color blindness, hemophilia. Males are more likely to inherit sex-linked disorders because they only have one X chromosome. Females have two X chromosomes, so a healthy allele on one chromosome can mask a recessive disorder allele on the other chromosome. Males, XY, females, XX. If a male inherits a recessive disorder allele on his X chromosome, he will express the disorder because there is no second X chromosome to mask it. Mini summary. Most sex-linked traits are found on the X chromosome, and males are more likely to express recessive sex-linked disorders because they only have one X chromosome. Q&A. What is sex-linked inheritance? Inheritance of traits located on sex chromosomes. Where are most sex-linked alleles located? On the X chromosome. Why are males more likely to inherit sex-linked disorders? Because they only have one X chromosome. What happens if a male inherits a recessive allele on the X chromosome? He will express the disorder. Why are females less likely to express recessive sex-linked disorders? Because they have two X chromosomes. What is the notation for sex-linked alleles? XA, XA, and Y. What are examples of sex-linked disorders? Color blindness and hemophilia. How do sex-linked traits inherit? They are passed through X or Y chromosomes from parents to offspring. Can females carry sex-linked disorders without showing them? Yes. Final summary of the entire topic. Non-Mendelian genetics includes inheritance patterns that do not follow simple dominant and recessive rules. Incomplete dominance creates blended traits, codominance expresses both traits equally, and polygenic traits involve many genes. Pleiotropic genes affect multiple body systems. Most sex-linked traits are located on the X chromosome, which is why males are more likely to express recessive sex-linked disorders.